Hello, YouTube family. Greg D here, aka the DCUO Gingerbread Man, back here with another video. Today, I wanted to make a loadout video showing you what I've come up with, what I'm currently testing as far as a sorcery, might, pet, quote unquote, DPS build with 5 artifacts, everything level 200. Um, I've been testing around extensively for the last 24 hours trying to figure out what's the best way to go, whether that be full pet using Quizlet, Source Shard, Grim, and um, Quizlet, everything like that, or if it's better to have a mix. And so before we get into the video, though, before I get into the information, if you guys could do me a huge, solid favor and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here. We are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. So anything that you can do to help would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated by me. It only takes you a few seconds, but it means a big, big thing, essentially, to me. So also, I will mention that I'm not saying that this is OP. I'm not saying that this is meta. This is currently just what I'm trying out using, and the damage has been pretty decent, so I'm just sharing it. So try it if you like. If you don't like it, don't try it. If you want to tweak it and make it your own, by all means, go ahead. Again, this is just literally what I'm using right now, so take it with a grain of salt. Just find something that you find fun. So we are talking about might here, so before we do anything, we need to tell you that you don't need to put anything in your weapons at all, because if we're doing totally might, that means all of your damage is coming from your loadout, your power rotation, so no weapons at all. The iconic powers, all I'm literally doing is Spore Pod, because we are using that in our rotation here for this. You could throw if you have the Brine Hulk, if you have like the Bat Swarm supercharge, you can throw a point in there and use that in your supercharge if you like, or in your loadout, I should say. I am using Grand Summoning just because, as long as I've ever used um, Sorcery, I've always loved Grand Summoning. It's great in raids, especially in boss fights, to get the extra DPSing, the extra tanking, the extra healing. So, but again, you could, if you really wanted to, you could use the the Hulk supercharge. You could use the Bat Swarm supercharge. Another viable option for a supercharge would be to use the Neo Venom boost. If you're not a fan of the Grand Summoning, that is. So there are options um, in that case. Um, Especially something like Neo Venom boost would spawn and and and, and charge up more quickly than Grand Summoning would. So that's just something to keep in mind there. As far as our stat points are concerned, because again, we are totally might here. We are doing super powered, critical attack chance, critical attack damage. Everything else is in might and power there. You'll notice there I have 461 skill points, so close to having this maxed out, but not quite there. And then as far as our 5 artifacts go, again, I think that a mix is kind of best instead of going like full might artifacts or full pet artifacts. It seems like a mix is the best way to go, at least for me currently, and what I have. So I'm currently using Source Shard at 200, Sinestro's Ring at 200, Trans Card at 200, Quizlet at 200, and Omega, because if you're talking might, you almost have to have Omega in there, right? Because Omega is just so good. Um, if you have no other artifact, might-wise, definitely get yourself Omega for sure. So currently what I'm doing with my allies is I'm trying out Crypto. Crypto is great. Still OP single target. Um, Definitely comes in handy for the boss fights. I'm using Zatanna as our first support ally because she helps with your pets. And this is kind of like a pet DPS loadout here. Not full pet DPS, but pet DPS enough that Zatanna is in there. We're using the arcane battery, so that, as you see there, after using 6 damage dealing abilities, give ability summon pets, restored power, and increased damage dealt by, at this case, she's not fully maxed out, obviously, but right now at level 7, it is an extra 6% for 10 seconds. Also includes, or that excludes offering, Fortified Golem, Godwave Strength, and the Mercy Attack Protocol. Normally I would have, with a pet DPS, whether you're Earth or Sorcery, I would have the offering or the power to boost your pets there. But in this case, I'm not. So I feel like having Zatanna there kind of replaces offering in this case. So that's why I'm using her. Also using the Batman Who Laughs for the random buffs there. You could use Starfire in here. You could use John Stewart. I don't have John Stewart, and I don't have Starfire leveled up to the point where she could be a support ally. So I'm not using either one of those, but you could, if you wanted to, throw Starfire, John Stewart in there as your support allies as well. And then as far as my loadout is concerned, so I'm going Godwave Strength, Spore Pod, Soul Bolt, which will be your spam move so that you can charge up Omega, using Fury, and then Grand Summoning again. Grand Summoning is kind of pricey because it is a 10,000, so it will take a while to charge up. Hence why I said you could throw in the Brine Hulk Supercharge in there. You could throw in Neo Venom Boost if you wanted. You could also throw in Scrap as one of your artifacts to help charge this up faster. It's up to you, but the damage that I've seen using this setup has been pretty good. So what we're going to do here is first we'll show you without using any of our utility belt. Before we use Mother Box, before we use the Elite Henchman, we're just going to go straight with just me and Fury, and we'll show you the damage there. And then, literally, this is pretty easy. All you're going to do is just charge. You're going to spam the shit out of Soul Bolt until Omega's ready. And then you're just like, look at that already. We're at 16 million over 10 seconds already. And I barely did anything. Now, the nice thing about having Soul Shard at level 200 is there is a chance for it to kind of reset itself quickly. You get a 25% chance that it just respawns automatically. So, but literally, this is all it is. I'm just spamming the shit out of Soul Bolt into Omega, and then again, boom, 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 boom. And it's really easy. It's really easy. Yes, it's monotonous, but it is really easy, and it hits really hard. 16 million. There. Let's get to the point where we can use the supercharge here. 15 million. So, that's on par with where I was with Sorcery, honestly. Or Electric, I should say. All right, so now what I want to do is, now that I have the supercharge, I want to pop the Henchman, right? And now, wait, hold on. We're gonna go through our loadout here with the Henchman. Ready? I'm going to pop the supercharge. We're going to pop this. It is really simple. 20 million there. So, that's the most I've seen thus far with this. Yes, again, it's monotonous. Yes, it's very simple. 21 million. But it hits fucking hard, man. This thing hits hard. Hit Omega there a little too soon, but again, like with everything out, you're hitting 21. So, base damage wise, you're probably in that 12 to 15 million over 10 seconds range. When you're in your actual raids and alerts and stuff, you have all the pets rocking, you're, in that probably 18 to 21. So, that's not bad. Especially for me, I'm pretty impressed with that. So, again, it's really simple. There's nothing to it. You're just spamming the shit out of Soul Bolt. You could use Vengeance there if you wanted to for something else. But, look at that. I'm easily hitting 13 to 15. There's an 18. And that's even without the supercharge. So let's do one thing here real quick just to see if there is a difference here. I just want to kind of see for myself. So if we take Grand Summoning out, let's say, right? And if you, well, okay, so I don't have the, never mind, I don't have the skill point. I don't have the skill point. Here, wait, let's do this real quick. Let's do this really fast, just to see. So if I did decide that I wanted to be like, hey, skill points, screw you. All right, so make sure that you have your 1 point in your weapon. And then you're going to come down to your iconic powers. Let's say Spore Pod. Let's say, we'll say Neo Venom, and we'll say the Brine Hulk just to have some versatility. We want to make sure that we have our flight, obviously. And then as far as your stat points, again, you're going to go boop, 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 and then everything else in there. So now what I can do is Spore Pod's back in there, but I can switch out, let's say we'll switch out the Brine Hulk. Because as you can see there, the Brine Hulk is only a 5,000 cost, which means that it'll pop up for you a lot quicker, recharge itself a lot quicker. So again, you're just spamming the crap out of Soul Bolt. I know, again, it's monotonous, but hey, it's working. It's doing some pretty decent damage. Now, of course, if you really wanted to be like OP or meta, you could throw in like Candle of Near on there as one of your artifacts. But let's see here. I want to get the. But again, you're in that 12 to 15 million base damage range. With the supercharge and all the pets, you're talking, 18 to 21 there, depending. I want to wait, do everything just to kind of see here. I'm going to wait for wait for my henchman to get back up there, then we'll see. That's pretty crazy. I mean, look, just using Omega by itself. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to pop. We're going to pop. Now we're just going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get all the things rolling here. Let me get the thing charged up a little bit. So hit the Brine Hulk. We're going to hit the thing here. There's 16. Just testing it out here, just to kind of see what we can get. There's the thing. There's 17. And then boop, boop, and then boop, and then boop, and then. So again, super simple. There's another 20. So, I mean, maybe not much of a damage difference there between using Grand Summoning and the Brine Hulk itself. Yeah, not much of a difference there, but as you can see there, at least the Brine Hulk would charge up more frequently, so you'd be able to use it more frequently. So just something to keep aware of and be mindful of. And we can just kind of pop that out again. And we'll do that. So honestly, as far as might is concerned, with what I currently have, this has been the best way to go about things. And, I mean, it's not too shabby. It could be a lot worse. Because if you were watching me yesterday on my live stream, we were not having a good time as I was trying to figure this all out. So, there you go. So, again, there's options here. 5 artifacts and everything. So, like I said, if you wanted more of Supercharge more frequently, you could throw in Scrap. If you wanted to be a little bit more OP, I mean, Candle is pretty OP right now. But I feel like this mix of actual DPS artifacts and pet artifacts seems to be the way to go. So we are going to rock with it. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And until next time, we'll see you soon.